With me is the Foreign Minister of Seychelles. So, welcome to WION here at the Indian Ocean Conference. Here at the conference, how do you think that it provides an opportunity for conversations to deal with the challenges of the Indian Ocean? We have seen a lot of unfortunate incidences like the downing of the Iranian ship Dana as well. So, how has this conference been a focus area to discuss the challenges?
This platform gives us the opportunity to exchange ideas and confirm uh, our own views on how is it that we should go forward as countries that share the same space that we use for our own benefit, as countries of the region. We have, as you said yourself, been hit by the impact of the war in West Asia. And a country like Seychelles finds that we are not alone. There are other countries as well who are in the same situation, and it provides us an opportunity as well, not only during the conference but in the sidelines or on the sidelines of the conference, to talk to partners and to see how we can work together to strengthen our ties and diversify the ties so that they do not we're not dependent on on just one area. And we realize that we all have something to give. We all have something to contribute. You see, and it also shows that, like the Minister of Mauritius mentioned, that Seychelles and Mauritius were the first countries to establish cooperation on jointly managing an area, a common area, which is the Saya Mala, since 2012. We were the first countries to do that. So it's an example, a concrete example on how collective stewardship can actually help ocean governance. You see. So it's been very helpful.
You met with the Indian External Affairs Minister. What were the conversations like? Were there any conversation on the West Asia war?
Oh yes, of course we had. Of course, we had our discussions on our bilateral relations, the very productive state visit that our president had in India in February, and how we should what follow up there is to be done, and what momentum we should be giving to it. In fact, we're giving a lot of momentum to it. We are preparing for the visit of the Prime Minister of India to Seychelles to attend the 50th anniversary celebrations of our independence day in the 29th of June
Okay.
this year. So we are working towards that. But yes, we also discussed the general situation which is impacting on us and how we could work together. And India is also helping a lot. India has responded with this by offering us humanitarian, I would say, humanitarian support as well, in terms of the special economic package that was offered to Seychelles in February this year. So there is a first delivery of 250 tons of rice that's coming anytime in the next few days or a couple of weeks
Okay.
to Seychelles. That's one example. There are other projects that we are working on. Yeah.
Amidst the West Asia crisis, India has been providing fuel to many of its neighbors. There is conversation of a government-to-government agreement with Mauritius, under which India will be providing petroleum products. With Seychelles, has there been any request or any conversation on any support you're looking at from India when it comes to the fuel, petrol, or diesel?
Yes, so we've been talking about this and been looking at how that could be done. We and we there is an agreement in principle by the external affairs of India to consider any request that we may make in the near future. So far, our stocks are quite comfortable, and we have our own government company that organizes itself quite well, but we realize that we need to extend our stocks as well as far as possible, and we may be making a request. Yes.
Uh, the Prime Minister will be coming to Seychelles on 29th of June. There is a complete confirmation. Has he accepted when it comes to his upcoming visit to your country?
Yeah, subject to things which are beyond his control. Yes, there is confirmation.
Okay. And my final question on the West Asia crisis. We've already discussed West Asia crisis a lot, but essentially, how do you see it impacting countries like Seychelles and the Indian Ocean?
Yeah, well, Seychelles has been impacted significantly. The president of Seychelles made his his statement to the nation using the National Assembly of Seychelles as a platform only on Friday, yesterday. Yeah?
Okay.
And in his statement, he mentioned that there has been a reduction of 40% of tourist arrivals to Seychelles as a result of the war in West Asia. So that's a clear example, right? And whilst our stocks of fuel and essential commodities are quite good, around 2 months, we also need to prepare for the longer term, you were saying, because even if there is, we welcome this ceasefire and the negotiations which are currently or about to take place in Islamabad, we realize that coming back to normal afterwards would take time. So he's already preparing the population. As of Monday next week, he's calling upon the public workers, those where it is possible, especially in the non-essential services, to start working from home. So there are measures that are already being taken to get the population to also do their part as well.
On that note, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION. With video journalist Joy Siddhant Sibul for WION in Mauritius.